I'm Jason Barber with Holistic Planning, and I'm excited to come to you today with a urgent public service announcement. We're going to be covering some major changes that have just recently been signed into law that are affecting people's Social Security benefits. So on January the 5th, the Social Security Fairness Act, I believe is what it was called, was passed into law. Now, who is going to be impacted by the Social Security Fairness Act? The Social Security Fairness Act is impacting and affecting changes if you are impacted by the Windfall Elimination Provision or the government pension offset. So a lot of times you might hear those referred to as the WEP or the GPO impacts. Now, how do you know if you were impacted by this? Well, odds are pretty good that if you're watching this video and you know, hey, I understand the term Windfall Elimination Provision or government pension offset. It's kind of one of those like if you know, you know type of a things. But in summary, if you were say, for example, a teacher, or teachers are probably the most widely impacted by this, but even some people perhaps that worked at a university or other government positions. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you had a career where for some part of your career you earned money and you did not pay into Social Security, but instead you were putting money into a pension and you receive a income, a retirement pension from that career, like, again, very commonly Texas teachers, and I'm sure teachers in other states are impacted by this, then you likely are also impacted by the government pension offset and or the Windfall Elimination Provision. The Social Security Fairness Act essentially has wiped that out. So what does that mean? Well, that means that you're likely, if you had say you were a teacher and you were owed Social Security benefits that were previously reduced or eliminated because of the Windfall Elimination Provision or because of the government pension offset, that you can expect to see that income, I believe, start coming in sooner than later. We need to make sure, of course, that you have your Social Security knows where to send the money, that your bank account's on file with them, and that your tax elections are on file. You know, if you're a current tax client of Holistic Planning, please make sure that we know about this extra income so that we can account for that in your planning that we do for you. But ultimately, we want to make sure that you're receiving the money that you're owed. So Windfall Elimination Provision is going to be applicable if you personally had a career where you received a pension, but maybe part of your career you also paid into Social Security. And so you, again, earned some money from Social Security that you would receive, but you weren't because of the Windfall Elimination Provision. Make sure you're receiving that Social Security income. The government pension offset would be affecting you more so if you would normally be entitled to receive either a spousal benefit or a survivor benefit from somebody else's Social Security. So let's just use an example. Let's say that you were a teacher and your spouse was not, and your spouse paid into Social Security, and I'm making up numbers here, but let's say that your spouse had a $3,000 a month Social Security benefit and you had a $3,000 a month pension from a school or some other source like that. The government pension offset, in a typical traditional role as a spousal benefit, you would be entitled to receive half of your spouse's Social Security benefit, regardless of if you paid $1 into Social Security. In other words, you would normally be entitled to get $1,500 a month in a spousal benefit. Instead, you are going to have that spousal benefit would be completely offset by the government pension offset. And again, as a survivor benefit, you would typically be entitled to receive 100% of your spouse's Social Security benefit, whereas if you had previously had that offset by the government pension offset, you would either receive none or very little survivor benefit. Now that the government pension offset has been eliminated because of the Social Security Fairness Act, you should expect to receive either a spousal benefit or a survivor benefit. So if you have questions about this, please reach out to us. Reach out to me, Jason, reach out to Taylor, reach out to anybody at Holistic Planning, and we'll make sure that we give you good advice as to how to make sure that you are receiving all of the Social Security benefits that you are entitled to receive. And more importantly than that, or equally important, make sure that you don't have a surprise tax bill as a result of this change. So that being said, that's all I've got today for today's public service announcement. Be sure to reach out to us at holisticplanning.com, and we'll look forward to hearing from you soon.